Well, hello, this is Brad with Little Valley Farm, and I wanted to share a new idea, maybe. I don't know. Someone else may have thought of it, but I haven't seen it, for the chicken tractor. So I've had this chicken tractor here for, I think, about 3 seasons now. And I originally started out with some wheels that, and you can see the holes here remaining, that had a lever that I could raise and lower and wedge it into place and all that. And that worked okay for a little while. A year or two, it had degraded enough and it just was not working. Didn't really care for it. It didn't roll that easy. There's a lot of bending of the wheel and all. Anyways, so it didn't work very well. So this year, what I did is I decided I'm just going to mount the wheels permanently. And you can see here, and you can see that there's a gap between there and the bottom of the tractor. Reason is, and I have to do that, is my ground is very bumpy and uneven in a lot of places, and when I had the wheels mounted the other way, they weren't down far enough, and I would hang up on stuff a lot. And trying to do other methods was a problem as well. So I decided, all right, I'm just going to mount the wheels permanently. They're going to be higher, and I'm just going to figure out a way to block the chickens from getting on the back. And my original idea was to put like a flapper on here, multiple pieces of wood or something that would just kind of move with the ground. And while that could have probably worked, I don't see why it wouldn't have. Don't know. I came up with another idea, and it's a combination of, and this is the reason I came up with the idea. I was also going to add a pusher bar, which is a bar that goes right in front of the back of the tractor to push the chickens along so they don't get their feet caught. So something would push them out of the way before their feet get dragged under as you're moving the tractor. So a lot of contemplating, and I came up with an idea, and I used it for my first batch of chickens this year, and it worked fabulous. So I wanted to share it with everybody. It's super easy to do, super cheap to do, and I wanted to share it with you. And so what it is, as you can see under here, and this is just drain piping, 4-inch drain piping, and it's just hanging there. And what I did, I gotta quit under here. So what I did is I just secured a couple pieces of PVC, just used screws to secure them in there at the right height, and the height is right to where it bumps up enough to give me the clearance I need, but will drop down and block access to the chickens. Now this it's not sitting back as far as it normally does. Normally it sits back like this, but the tractor fork is right here pushing it forward. So what happens is it does wind up riding all the way back here, kind of like this, if I'm getting a good view of that. There we go. And it prevents the chickens from getting out. I didn't have any chickens getting caught this year, or with this batch like we normally do. You pull it, and then 1 or 2 chickens, seems like every time you move it, will get their feet caught under it. And it's a giant pain. I didn't have a single one get caught over this last batch. So I'll just kind of back up a little here and take a shot. So it's basically 2 separate pieces. I had to because I had the center support beam here. I didn't block this little section here. The chickens were big enough, and I contemplated, putting a piece of wood or something. I didn't, and it wasn't a problem. Now, maybe it could have been, but it's a pretty narrow gap. And by the time you get the chickens in here, they're decent size, so they wouldn't be able to. And then, so worked real well. Give it a try if you're so inclined. But it was an easy way to do that. And this way, I don't have to do any kind of mechanism to lift up the back end to get it on the wheels. I've got a rolling block, essentially, that rolls along with the vac. And then I just added these. I don't know how well these will work. But because there's a gap, obviously, kind of a wedge-shaped gap, I added this board, and it will just go up and down with the ground. And as I, go over bumps and stuff, it should be fine. And then it will just kind of maintain and keep that so the chickens shouldn't be able to get out. I just put that in. I really didn't have problems with when I picked it up and moving it. The chickens get out. It was mostly towards the front, because as you pick it up enough to move it, sometimes you pull back on it and you get a little more lift than you intend to, and then the chickens can. My chickens always hover around the front, because as the front is where they're getting all the new grass, and they're all piled up there pecking at the grass and everything, and then sometimes they'll sneak out the front. So not really been an issue. If I'm paying attention and I'm controlling it well, then we can do it. So but this back here I was a little concerned about, because sometimes the gaps get pretty big. So anyways, we'll see how that works. So anyways, let me know if you like the idea, if you want to try it, or if you are going to try it. Just let me know how it works, because I'd like to see how other people's experience has gone. We've done a lot of things with this checking tractor over the years, and every year is a tweak and maybe a little improvement, but so anyways, let me know what you think, and thanks for watching.